In an important game, the Knicks lose their third straight game to the Chicago Bulls. We're going to talk about it. What's going on, my people? New York Knicks fans, what's popping? Here we go again. Fourth quarter execution. Loss to the Chicago Bulls. That's a tough deal. Tough deal. And at some point, we got to get over this. I don't know what it is with the Bulls this year. For whatever reason, the Bulls seem to have our number. And it hurt us at the wrong point of the season. Because this is a game that we should have won. Hands down. We should have had this game. We had a lead in this game. I think we had, if I could take a quick look at it, you know, we had our biggest lead was 11. You know, and it's a team we got to put away, man. We got to put them away. For whatever reason, they have our number. We can't put this team away. They match up with us. Markkanen is dwarfing KP. You know, I hate to say it, but I got to say it. He's dwarfing KP. He's doing KP better than KP. What's up? What's up, Unicorn? Come on, man. You know, it befuddles me. It upsets me. You know, because I know that we're a better team than this. I feel like we're a better team than this. Yeah, Chinky Eye, it is time to vent. It's time to vent. You know what I mean? It's time to let it out there because we're a better team than this. We can play better than this. We've seen it. I know that Timmy's out. I get that. I understand that. But we can still play better than this. A team, I mean, yeah, I'm going to open up Skype. I'm going to open it up a little bit later on. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give everybody a chance to vent. Remember, though, when I open up Skype, though, let's keep it clean. Let's keep it clean. But I promise you, we will have times when I just let you loose. But let's keep it clean, though, all right? Let's keep it clean on Skype. Vent, let it loose, let it out, but keep it clean. You know, matter of fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up Skype after we do the little recap, talk about the game a little bit. I'm going to open it up just so guys can Skype, just so guys can let it loose and let it out. And then we'll move on to whatever else we're going to talk about. You know, yeah, John Woo, Psy, of course, definitely. You know, Psy. You know, because we got to find a way. We got to do something. I mean, we got to do something to pull these games out. And we can't just sit and blame it on Jeff Hornacek. You know, the guys got to perform on the floor too. You know what I'm saying? You know, guys got to, you know, they got to get on the floor and make it happen. We can't just always say, well, Jeff Hornacek didn't have the rotations or whatever it was. That's part of it sometimes. You know, but guys, you know, I mean, you letting Lopez kill us at the end, like Big Smooth is saying, you know, off of screen and rolls. I mean, that's guys playing on the floor. You know, maybe we need to work on it a little bit more in pregame and practice, understand who's doing what. You know what I'm saying? But we should be able to guard a screen and roll. It's the NBA, people. It's the NBA. Guard a screen and roll. You learn it in grade school. You learn it in middle school. You learn it in high school. You learn it in college. Guard the screen and roll. Learn how to do it. You know what I'm saying? You know, you shouldn't have a guy like Frank who can guard the screen and roll better than vets that's on the floor. You know, learn how to guard the screen and roll. You know what I mean? Let's take a look. Let's just look at the game real fast. You see our biggest lead, 11-point lead. Come on, man. I mean, we know we've been going through it all year where we have a lead, a big lead, and we're unable to maintain the lead. We're unable to extend the lead. You know, and now that, you know, in the beginning of the season, we were winning a little bit more, but now all these things are coming back to bite us. And it's obvious that we didn't learn our lessons back then. You know what I'm saying? When we gave up leads and lost games, we didn't learn our lesson. 51 rebounds to 48. Not bad. We had 11 offensive rebounds, 40 defensive rebounds, 24 assists, only 5 steals, 9 blocks, 18 turnovers. Got to protect the ball better. Got to take care of the ball better. We shot 22 threes tonight. That's a little bit better. Right? We shot 22 threes tonight. Still, they shot 33 threes and they shot 45% from 3-point from 3. We went to the line 21 times. They went to the line 20 times. They shot 98 field goals. We shot 96. But this is a team that isn't really a high-scoring team, but we make them look good. We made them look good. I want to talk about Markkanen a little bit because I got a question I want to ask you guys. Markkanen, 33 points, 10 rebounds, 1 turnover, 2 steals, 1 block. What do you guys think about Markkanen? He's out KP and KP. And look, when I look at Markkanen, yeah, killing the Knicks, man. When I look at Markkanen, he's 7 foot, but look at his muscle tone, right? And maybe it's the fact that he's 7 foot and not 7'3" like KP. Look at his muscle tone. He looks strong. He looks, he looks like he can handle contact. He can fight through contact. He can shoot the 3. He can, he can penetrate. He's real solid, real solid. You guys think Markkanen is going to be better than KP? You think Markkanen in the long run is going to do KP better than KP? I hate to say that because I love KP, but when I look at Markkanen and I look at Markkanen is more athletic and more mobile than KP. Yeah, Ishmael. When I look at Markkanen, and I look at his, the strength of his body, it's what we hope KP will get to one day. You know what I'm saying? But when I look at the strength of his body right now, he looks bona fide. You know what I'm saying? He looks bona fide. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if he's going to be better than KP. But right now he looks like he's a little more athletic, a little stronger. And he's just a rookie. You know what I'm saying? He looks good. Phil wanted him, big smooth. That's a point that I was going to bring up. Phil wanted Markkanen. Back at the trade deadline when Phil Jackson was talking about trading KP, I think what he was interested in doing is trading KP, maybe trying to pull down a couple of, do some moves to pull down a couple of draft picks for KP, right? Maybe that 3rd pick and then maybe another pick and find a way to get Markkanen, you know what I mean? And then another player, What would you guys think right now, just knowing what you know now, if Phil Jackson had made a trade and pulled down Markkanen and Frank? What would you guys have thought about that? You said Lauri not that strong. That's popcorn muscles. Got more muscles than KP. I don't know if it's popcorn muscles, but he got more muscles than KP right now. Man, I see a couple guys, man, talking about Frank. Come on, man. You're a rookie. You're not gonna have a great night every night, man. You know what I'm saying? But I want to know what you guys think about that. If Phil Jackson had did that trade, what would and the Knicks had gotten Markkanen and Frank, would you have done that? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying to do that right now. I'm not saying to do that. I'm just thinking, what would have happened from what we see from Markkanen right now. Because he looks like he's gonna be a solid NBA player. Hey, who's Mark? I'm gonna open it up, bro. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna open it up. After we go over this little recap, I'm gonna give you a chance. Hopefully, you be the first one, but I'm gonna give you a chance. Man, you say Phil is looking like a genius right now. You know what? I can't argue with you. Because players that he was interested in, someone like Markkanen, they're coming through and looking like bona fide NBA players. You know what I'm saying? I really do hope that KP turns out to be as strong as Markkanen looks. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we're not on the court with him. And we don't know how strong he really is. But if KP can build that kind of muscle tone and get as strong or stronger than him, because, Markkanen is still young, he's going to grow and get stronger, but if KP, gets to that point, he'll be trouble. But right now, I think, nobody's double teaming him yet. You're right. Siobhan. No, it's kind of like KP in his first year. No one really knew what he was, but you can see the talent and you can see what he can do. And he looks like he's going to be a good player in this league. I don't know if he's going to be a star, a superstar. We don't know if KP is going to be a superstar because, right now things are looking a little. I'm a little nervous about KP being that number one guy right now. I'm just, and I know everyone goes through their struggles. And, he's a young player, and he's getting used to defenses queuing in on him. He's getting used to all the attention around him. He's getting more used to every team wanting to beat him up and stuff like that, and playing rough with him. And teams, of course, we know, are doing it on purpose. They're hitting KP, they're throwing KP. They don't care if they get the foul. And they know that that it bothers KP. And I just seen somebody say that Markkanen is a little more used to the NBA, to the American game. That might be true. That might be true. But I'm watching KP closely, and I hope that his anemia. I seen somebody say, his anemia might be getting to him. We know that he had like a chest type of problem or something like that, breathing problem. And maybe maybe those things will bother him. I don't know. But KP is definitely struggling, and he's going through a hard time. He's going through a hard time. And, he's learning. So I seen someone say that New York is getting to his mental. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I always thought that KP was strong enough. I thought he was cool, could handle the press and things like that. But I don't know. I'm watching and wondering. There was a couple of scouts. You guys might have read the articles. Just said that KP's not really wired to be your franchise guy. He's, when guys come from overseas, they're kind of wired to be more of a team type of a player. And that, he's going to be, doesn't mean he won't be an all-star, but, he's better suited to be the second type of player. I don't know. We'll see. But I think all the questions that we're asking about KP right now are warranted. You know what I mean? Nehru Jung, you're right. I think KP, he has that potential. The question is, does he have the mindset to be that guy that consistently scores 30 points per game? Does he have the mindset and that drive? We're going to find out. We're going to find out if he does. let's take a look at the Knicks stats, and then I'm gonna open up the line so my boy Mark can get in. KP had 24 points, shot 45% from the field, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 5 turnovers, 4 blocks. But the thing that we look at, those are nice stats, right? Decent stats. Shot 33% from threes, not bad. But you got to look at also though, some of his shot selections down the stretch. Sometimes I feel like he's putting pressure on himself, to be that guy. And maybe he doesn't need to put that pressure on himself and just let the game come to him the way it comes. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Because sometimes some of his shots are a little bit, to me, a little bit sometimes forced, especially when he gets a short guy on him and he just pulls up over top. That's not always the best shot, though. And he doesn't make a high percentage of those shots. He's shooting them, but he's not making a high percentage of those shots. What I do like is, I seen one time, I think it was in the fourth quarter, he got the ball in the post. He didn't have it. He kicked it back out. The ball got swung around to Beasley. Beasley missed the 3, but that's what needs to be done. That's how we need to do it. Same thing on the other side. Beasley caught the ball in the post. He drew the double team, kicked it out, swing, KP hit the 3. If we do a little bit more of that and KP learns how to pass out of that post, he'll be better. But I'm a little bit worried about the strength and the drive and the ability to be the guy that pulls the games out. So, but he's young. He's 22. He's got time to grow. I'm not trying to harp on him, and I'm not trying to say that he's not going to be. He can't be that guy. I'm just looking at what I see right now, and I'm hoping that that's what it is, Who else did what? Lance, 13 minutes, 0 points, two rebounds. Cantor, 15 points, 7 rebounds. Courtney Lee, 16 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. He played well, but, there's still times when we're seeing him pound that ball a little bit. Jared Jack pulled out his second career triple-double. Played well for most of the game, but then he had a couple of bad plays at the end of the game, especially that pass to Beasley, man. I thought he should have went down the lane to O'Quinn. O'Quinn was cutting right down the lane. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that he should have went to O'Quinn. Instead, he lobbed it over top to Beasley, out of bounds. Beasley, 26 points, 12 rebounds, got a little bit frantic down the stretch in the second overtime. But what's new about the Knicks? You know what I'm saying? What's new? This is what we do, and this is how we do it. Kareem Walton, you said players usually feed off their teammates, especially young players. The Knicks don't have the talent for KP to feed off of. The Bulls have a lot more talent than the Knicks. That may be true. That may be true. And we gotta, I and all of us, we gotta take into account that Tim Hardaway's not here. You know what I mean? And that really helped to ease some of the pressure off of KP because the way that he was able to, penetrate. Before he went out, he really started penetrating from the wing, opened the floor up by shooting threes, scoring transition. That really pulled some of his, that really pulled some attention away from KP. Anthony Williams, you say you are comparing KP to a rookie. No, stop. Why? What's wrong with comparing him to a rookie? He's only in his 3rd year himself. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with that? It is what it is. If once you get into the league, man, you're there to ball. I know you're a rookie. And you're young, but you get some rookies that come in the league and they're better than vets. They're better than they're better than players that have been in the league for 3 years. I mean, it is what it is. You know, KP has a lot to learn still. That's okay. That's cool. I'm just looking at the two players, and the reason why I'm comparing the two players is because there was a point when Phil Jackson was interested in, or at least the rumor was out there that he wanted to trade KP and draft Markkanen. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, there were a lot of people that were like, "Nah, if Phil Jackson does that, he's stupid." Da 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 da. Now, I'm not saying that I support everything that KP did. I'm just saying, it doesn't look like it was all crazy. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't look like it was all crazy. Exactly. That rookie killed us, right? That rookie killed us for 31 points, 33 points tonight, 33 points and 10 rebounds. Killed us, But, KP is going to continue to grow. He's going to continue to be KP. And, I'm still looking forward for big things from KP, but I think it's a valid question. There you go, JJP. KP is playing like a rook, so you can compare him. You can compare him. If you're going to play like that, then you can play. Then, you're going to get paired to a rook. That's what it is. And if you look at, KP this year, for the last 2 years, KP was protected. You know what I'm saying? Melo protected him the last 2 years. If you want to be honest, you know what I'm saying? Melo protected him. Melo took the heat for him. Melo took the bad shots for him. So, now, KP got that spotlight. And maybe it was thrust on him too early. We don't know. But, KP got he's got a lot of learning to do and a lot of things. He's got a way to go. And it would have been good to have one more year of for KP. I understand. Listen, I understand that Melo needed to go right now. I liked Melo and I wish that it could have worked, but just things got so bad it had to happen. I get that. You know what I'm saying? But it would have been nice to have one more year of somebody there kind of holding KP, not holding his hand, but helping him along, taking that heat for him. It is what it is. I'm supporting KP 100%. Don't think that I'm not. I support him 100%. I just think, let me end it with this before I open this up. Let's be a little bit more patient with KP and not try to push him into that role. All right, let's be a little bit more patient because he may need more time to prove that he can be that. You know what I'm saying? Yep, Phil saw something in Markkanen. Maybe we need to tether back just a little bit and say, okay, he needs another year. And this is a good year for him to experience what it's like, I guess. You say KP got us looking okay for the first time in a while. KP by himself, I mean, KP he's playing well. He played well in the beginning of the year. Right now we're not looking that good. You know what I'm saying? Right now, as far as our play on the court, now as far as our future looks really good. Yeah. But our play on the court isn't looking that great. But our future looks good. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Our future looks good, and our future looks like, something we can grow with. Somebody and something we can grow with. I'm just saying maybe we need to temper it back and saying he's the man right now and see if he grows into it. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe we're putting a lot of pressure on the kid. Mentally, he's admitted it already. Mentally, it's tough for him. And, this year, I guess, it's a big learning curve. It's a big learning curve. So, you say KP can't be the franchise when he misses damn near 15 to 20 games a year. Well, that's tough. That sometimes that hammers out guys, franchise guys. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that takes guys that should be the franchise. Those injuries sometimes take them out of the question of being a franchise. Okay, who's Mark? Um, it's open up, bro. You can go ahead and give me a call. I know you got something you want to get off your chest. Remember what I said though. Be easy. Keep the language down. We don't want nothing crazy. All right. So you can go ahead and give me a call, and we can go ahead and get this popping. Throw the headphones on so I can hear you when you call. All right. But up until then, we'll continue our conversation. Because I know you got a little bit of breakdown of some things. I hope he's cool. But let's talk about this. 0-3, what is it about Chicago that, why do they have our number? For whatever the reason is, we can't beat this team. Is it the athleticism? Is it that, they have, because they're very versatile. You know what I'm saying? You said they stopped making the extra pass. They're very versatile. They are able to throw different lineups out there. You know what I'm saying? They're able to go. They can go small. They got guys, like Markkanen, who's like a KP that can, when you go small, he can play positions from the 4 and the 5. He can be a stretch 4. He can play the 5 a little bit. He can a big guy that can shoot from the outside, so he can cause some matchup problems. And then if you want to go big, you can go big when you have Lopez and Porter down there. They give us problems for sure. And they got some young guards. Size and youth. Yeah, Mike. They got some young guards that aren't afraid they're not afraid to make mistakes. And they're not afraid to take chances. They're not afraid to get in there and ball. And we just can't match up with them. I don't know what it is. We can't. Well, we can match up with them, but we can't pull out games, even though we have some vets on the floor, and they're playing with youth. We're not pulling out games against them, and we should be. Given that we have vets out there on the floor, we should be pulling some of these things out. Mike Hawks, I get you. We play shooting guards at small forward. Yep, length hurts us. Length definitely hurts us because we do. We play shooting guards at small forwards, and then when we do have a small forward in the game, and Thomas is not, I think Thomas is 6'7", 6'8". He's not rangy though, right? He's a little bit thicker, but he's not rangy and long. And guys, they got guys that are rangy and long. Justin Holiday is rangy and long that can go from the shooting guard to the 3. Even Robin Lopez is rangy and long. That was one thing I really liked about Robin Lopez is just how long he is and rangy he is. You know what I mean? So, we're having trouble with these guys. You say Thomas is washed. You know what? Defensively, he plays defense, but we do need him to do some other things out there. We need him offensively, especially right now. We need him offensively while Hardaway's out. We need him to show up offensively. Yeah. Who's Mark? I don't know what happened, bro. I mean, you was on it. You was rushing to make the call. Where you at, man? We got the line opened up. You say Chicago beat the Celtics too. They play hard as a team. Yeah, they do. They play hard as a team, and Hoiberg got them playing. And it's a good situation for Hoiberg, right? First he had Derrick Rose and Jimmy Butler and those guys. And I think when you come into a league with a young coach, you need to have young players. When you have a young coach, first year coach with veterans, it's very hard for those guys to coach veterans on the floor. Because veterans, they look and they're like, well, I know just as much as this coach. I'm the same age as this coach. So I think he's in a good situation with a team of young players. And he's got those guys playing hungry, like Che Burgess is saying, hungry, and they're playing hard. So, we're struggling with Chicago. We're struggling with them. I think we got them one more time probably this season. I think we do. I don't know. Usually we play Eastern teams 4 times. Sometimes we only play them 3 times. So if we do, then that means we have another game at home. Okay, so we got Tony Crow calling in. Get Tony Crow up on the line. All right, my man, what's going on, Tony? I don't got you opened up yet, but I just want to make sure you got the background down. Okay, cool. I'm about to open it up. My man, Tony Crow, what's popping?
What's going on, man? Tough loss.
Yep, tough loss. One we needed. We definitely needed it. We needed this win.
And I want to say we could definitely beat them. We should have beat them the first 2 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Jack get a gold star from me today.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, Jack played well all the way until a couple of those turnovers and couple of bad plays down the stretch. But it's gonna happen, right?
You wouldn't have been there without him.
Exactly. We wouldn't have been there without him. I was sitting there. I was watching with my daughter. I coach her basketball team. We played. And, I came from a game tonight, and she was, her team kind of struggled with the press today, and I was talking about how, when you're getting pressured, things when you're young, things seem to be scrambled and all over the place. It's hard to process what's going on when you're young. When you get a little bit older, everything slows down. You can think a little bit better on the court, and you can handle it a little bit better.
And you've seen that from Jack.
Yeah, exactly. And I pointed out to her that move that Jack did when he threw it off the dude's back, got it inbounds, laid it up. That's a move, and we've seen younger players do it. I'm not saying only vets do it, but it's a move that when the game slows down for you, you can think the game a little bit. You can do things like that because everything doesn't seem so fast. You get trapped, you're not panicked. You know what I'm saying? You get a little bit of pressure, you're not panicked. That's the type of thing that Jack brings to us.
Yeah, and not only was it good from Jack, but it shows whoever the defensive man was how young he was.
Exactly. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
His back.
Right. But we wish that he could have did a little bit more to pull the game out. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you can't argue. He had a triple double, couple mistakes that's gonna happen, but he had a triple double.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Jeff Hornacek. I don't know what's going on. He's making a lot of coaching decisions, especially I won't say at the very end of the game. Well, even the overtime. He brought KP back in, which was fine, but then went straight to KP, and Beasley was on fire.
Right, and Beasley went cold in the second overtime. But part of the reason though is because they went away from him early. And
exactly.
Frazier was talking about it, right? Clyde Frazier was talking about it. He was like, why are we going to KP when Beasley's been getting us there? We need to go ahead and ride Beasley out.
Yes.
And KP came through for us with a couple of shots and things like that. He did, but at that point, you're right. He should have went to Beasley. And then when the time was right, go to KP. But yeah, he brought him right in and went to KP. And you can't force. This is the thing. You can't force the player. We can't force KP to be the guy. We got to let it happen naturally.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you force it to be the guy, if you force him to be the guy, there's going to be too much pressure. You know what I mean? Now, honestly, I'm the kind of guy, I don't believe that much in pressure. I believe you create the pressure. You put pressure. You create pressure, right? It's all upstairs. It's up there. You create pressure because pressure is not really a physical thing unless you actually have a weight on top of you. You know what I'm saying? So in that type of scenario, you actually create the pressure. That's the type of thing I try to teach my players. to try to
Yeah.
help them keep that pressure down. But
That and
if he's the type of player that does believe in pressure, and I'm not saying it's wrong to believe in pressure, then he's going to put that pressure on himself because people are saying, here, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. You know what I mean?
and a lot of times I think KP puts more of the pressure on himself than the Knicks as a whole. The Knicks play the best when they're moving the ball.
Yeah.
KP tends to have that Melo syndrome, and Melo's my man, but he holds the ball a little bit too much sometimes, or he just takes a couple of forced shots when he should know he's gonna get it back.
Right. Right.
Give it up.
Right.
You're gonna get it back.
You're going to get it back. And yeah, he should know that. You know what I'm saying? He should know that he's going to, exactly. He's going to get it back. You know what I'm saying? Move the ball, keep it swinging. You're going to get your numbers. And if you use your teammates, you know what I'm saying, the game is going to be easier for you. You're going to get easier shots. You're not going to have to work as hard. And if we're talking about an endurance issue with KP, I know, he had like some kind of breathing issue before. You know what I'm saying? So if you're talking about him having that kind of issue, then he needs to preserve as much of his endurance or as much of his energy as possible. You know what I'm saying? People talk about him having can't even think of the word now, but he needs to preserve his energy as much as possible if that's the case. And even if it's not the case, if you are the guy that people are going to go to down the stretch, you need to preserve your energy to perform down the stretch. So as much as possible, you need to be swinging that thing out of the post. Swinging that thing out of double team, swinging around the perimeter, and then look for that open shot. And exactly, the ball will come back to you. And if it's not, then go get an offensive rebound and put it back.
Yep.
And
if it don't come back to you after a few plays, then you can yell at your team.
Exactly. Then you be like, hey, let me get something. Let me get something over here. But yeah, you got to do that. And I guess he's got to learn how to. I don't think right now he recognizes when and where the double team is coming from. So teams are able to send double teams at him from all different directions, and he's not exactly sure. And something else that's bothering him is when teams switch off a small guard and they force him to shoot over top because he's shooting a low percentage from that shot. And it's really suckering him in because he's like, okay, I got this little 6'1", 6'2" guard on me. I can shoot over top of him easy. But he's not because they got a small guard on him, they're neutralizing the lower half of his body. He's not able to really get set. So all of his whole shot is coming from his arms.
He's shooting turning. He's shooting sideways.
Yep, shooting turning, shooting sideways, and everything is coming from his arms. You know what I'm saying? So what does that do? Now, usually when you shoot, you get a nice shot in, you get your feet set, you got a nice base set, and you pull it up. You're not really getting too much from your arms. It's all flowing through your fingertips, right? In that situation, they get somebody up underneath him. He's shooting with his arms. Eventually, his arms are going to tire out. And then in the fourth quarter, what happens? He has no arms. You know what I'm saying? So, he's got to look when he gets those little guys on him. If he don't have his feet set in a comfortable position with his feet, he may need to look to pass that back out. You know what I'm saying? And not force that shot because, I think that's hurting us sometimes.
Yeah. But I wonder if Jack felt a little bit of pressure with all this Trey Burke talk. Cause I'll tell you, man, he played his butt off tonight.
Yeah,
man.
he did, and he played well. He played well the other night too.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean against Dennis Smith Jr., he came out playing well. You know what I'm saying?
This was probably most I've seen him penetrate in one game.
Right.
And that's what we need from him.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He might be feeling a little bit of pressure. Like, let me go out and show why I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah. But my article is done. So whenever you're ready, just send me the link and I'll send it to you. Let you proofread it. You could put it up on your website.
All right, that's what's up.
All right.
All right, man.
Good talking to you, man. I'm gonna stay tuned and let you speak to some others.
All right, bro.
All right. Black is time.
All right, Black is time, baby. We here. All All right, folks. I see some of y'all. Hey, man, let's stay easy, folks. Let's stay easy. We got enough time. We're gonna get people on. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's all good. We all family here. We all family here. Let's treat each other with respect. Treat each other like family and everything. All right. I seen some questions as I was talking to Tony Crow about cancer, and we're gonna get to that. But I'm gonna answer Mark. All right, we're gonna get Mark up and popping. Hey, Mark, what's going on, bro? You live?
Yo, we good?
We good, man.
Let me get this little nervousness that I have right now because I'm kind of amped up after watching that game. All right, hold on. Give me a second.
Okay.
All right, there's three things.
Hey, hold up, Mark. Do me a favor though. You might want to turn it down in the back. All right, so that we don't get an echo.
I'm good?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. There's three things that KP does where he has to get used to. And This is why I wanted to keep Melo for certain things for him to develop into the play he needs to be. Is when he gets into the post, sometimes he needs to get the ball out of his hand quick as possible because teams are sending their guards and he don't see it. They don't call out. The teammates don't call out that another man's coming to come double him. That's something he gotta learn because he forced a lot of shots. Number two, this pick and roll offense that they run sometimes, if you don't have a point guard that can't pop out when he rolls, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. Jared Jack do not run the pick and roll right. He takes it, he gets into the, he don't even get into the middle. He stays about 15 foot, then pop back out to three. Porzingis gets open all the time on the wing. I'm watching it constantly. Yeah. He's not running the pick and roll correctly. Yeah. Another thing that Porzingis does that it don't bother me, but it's time with him. I keep telling people, this is wrong with Knicks fans. We get some of this superior talent because he's getting doubled now. He never got doubled the last 2 years. People got to understand that. He never got doubled the last 2 years. So he's learning right now. It's only how many games? Nearly 40 games now?
41 games into the season.
Yeah, 41. Let's say the first 20 teams are learning now how to stop him. So now he has to adjust to that.
Right.
So in that case now, he's adjusting to that. It's going to take him time. It's going to take him time. Mm-hmm. But refs don't know how to ref him. They don't know how to because I'm watching teams are grabbing, pulling, and when they double him, when they double him and they have the point guard on him, the point guard leans his whole entire body. You cannot do that.
Yep.
You cannot do that when he's facing them. You cannot lean your entire body into a player like that.
Right.
That's all, you only can lean if he's posting you. You have leeway to lean on, but if he's fronting you, you cannot lean on him, and that ruptures his shooting ability. It's not that he can't. He can shoot over them. But
right.
That contact is not. It's not. It has to be called. It has to be called.
You're right, Mark. And what they're doing, I just talked about it a little bit earlier. And let me ignore this real fast. I just talked about it a little bit earlier. Whoever that was, you can call in afterwards. We can only have one person online at a time. But I talked about it a little bit earlier. They neutralize the lower half of his body when they do that. And you're right. What they're doing is they're getting low. They're leaning their upper body into him, right, so that they can, because some of these guys, even though KP is 7'3", they're stronger than KP. But they know they know that they need to get a low base so that KP can't move them.
Look, you know what I'm saying? KP has decent upper body. He's not weak. He is, like I said, like if he's going up, right? If he's going up and then the player's leaning his entire 100 and nearly 200 pounds on him, no one's gonna make an efficient shot off that. It has to be called because they do that with Dirk. When people front Dirk, he gets those and one calls all of the time.
Yeah, but that's Dirk.
They did it last night when he was playing Golden State. Every time they front him, he got them and one twice in a row. Because they when they front him, they get under his body. You cannot do that. You cannot do that.
You're right. They can't do it. And
they don't know how to They don't know how to ref him. They don't know how to ref him, and it affects the game because now let me speak. The fourth quarter, the beginning of the fourth quarter, this happened in numerous games. The first 4 minutes, these refs go on a calling spree. Like, it's happening every game, and it's bugging me, though. It's bugging me out. They call in every call, and then when we want to get a call, sometimes we cannot play aggressive on offense, even if we wanted to, because they do not call for us, and we have to squeeze. We have to squeeze for a call, bro.
Well, you know, that's been, you know, that's for whatever reason, that's how it is with the Knicks, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but it seems like the Knicks never get the calls the right way. You see how Melo used to get killed under there. Melo used to get clobbered.
Oh my God! Listen,
clobbered.
He gets the most contact and never gets called. So that tells you a lot. That tells you a lot.
Yeah, never gets the call. You know, but what KP is gonna have to figure that out though.
No, he's gonna figure it out. But
he's gonna have to figure it out.
He adjusts if you watch him, he adjusts every year. People gotta understand something. Giannis wasn't like this till his fourth year. It takes these players 4 years to become a star. They ain't LeBron James. LeBron James is just a different athlete. Kevin Durant was just a different player. People gotta stop looking at them like that. You gotta give some of these players time. Anthony Davis, it took him 4 years to develop a body up to even be Anthony Davis.
I mean, you're right. You're right. You know,
what KP's doing,
he got a lot to learn. He's got a lot to learn. He's gonna develop.
What KP is doing in his projected years, and his projected years is far beyond.
But what I think we need to do with KP though is, you know, we
got to get a point guard. I don't care what nobody say. They can't throw entry passes to him.
I mean, we do. We got to get somebody who, you know, we though as fans, as the organization.
We got to stop that because
I think
whoever said Markkanen is better than him, Markkanen cannot play defense.
Listen, hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on. We got to slow down with KP, right? And we don't want to force this role on him so soon because I feel like and it looks like to me out there that mentally is wearing on him. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it was thrust on him a little bit too fast. You know, we'll see how the season goes on and if he starts to rebound and come back and if Tim Hardaway helps.
Yeah,
if Tim Hardaway helps.
He needs guard play because when he had the guard play, there was more space. They don't space the floor enough for him because they don't run that pick and pop that he gets open every time with Jerry Jack because he comes back to the 3-point. Teams are literally are just like playing defense out there. The Knicks is not nowhere near the basket. And they know they're going to the post to either Beasley or KP in the last 5 seconds of the shot clock.
Right. And with that pick and roll, you know, Jared Jack's not fast enough to just
It's not fast enough.
He's not fast enough to get into the lane.
He don't pop out. When you run a pick and roll with KP, he's popping out. Jared Jack don't pop out to create that space. He doesn't.
Right.
He does not.
He
does not.
Exactly. And if you guys can see my hands, you know, I think what he's saying, when Jared Jack, if this is the screener right here, when Jared Jack comes off that screen, he needs to come out a little bit wider so he can create space.
Tell people to watch how JJ Barea does a pick and roll with Dirk and see how open Dirk gets every time.
You know,
JJ Barea does that same shit with that Dirk that KP want to do that Dirk does.
But Frank does a good job getting them open. Frank does a good job coming off and finding them. But they need to get Frank and KP on the floor more together. Yeah,
and his sometimes Hornacek like rotations, like it kills me sometimes. Like it really does because let me tell you something about KP. KP might sometimes he's gonna sometimes take the big shots and miss them, but his effect on the game is superstar talent. You don't get a 7'3" center that runs block shots, even on Markkanen, because that could have ended the game. He blocked the shot to give us another chance. He hit clutch shots at the end. He hit all the clutch shots that we needed. You know who fucked up? Jared Jack.
Well, he did.
Won.
Hey, watch the language, man. Watch the language.
Oh, sorry.
But I mean, you're right. But you know, KP, he's still got a lot to learn, though. You know what I'm saying? He still got a lot to learn. He's still learning a lot. Still learning a lot. And I think the question is valid from people. I think the question is definitely valid. He has all the potential in the world, you know what I mean? But I think it's a valid question to ask. Can he and will he get there?
Yo, his presence on the floor, just look how teams react to him. Just look at it. He don't have, honestly, Tim Hardaway is like the only person that has like a fervor to get to the rack, to shoot the three even when someone passes it, just shoot the ball.
Yeah.
They get the ball and then they run that same motion offense. Like I'm watching teams just guarding that like it's ABCs.
Yeah. I got you, man.
It's so terrible. And I can't blame KP for that because he's trying to create space that the guard is not giving him. When Tim Hardaway's on the floor, you should look at the numbers when Tim Hardaway's on the floor. He has to have someone that could create a little bit, not create like Carmelo, but create a little bit off the dribble. Off the dribble. It's just like with LeBron James.
I agree.
LeBron James has to have an elite big man.
When you got someone playing a screen and roll, you gotta have that guard needs to be able to create.
If JJ Barea is running,
you know what I'm saying?
A pick and pop with a 39-year-old Dirk, and he gets open every time, he gets so much space.
Yep.
You telling me Jared Jack cannot do that?
You know what? You know, Jared Jack is not a pick and roll type of point guard.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, he's not, Jared Jack is, Jared Jack has never really been a creator.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
You know
so
what?
Like,
I'm gonna tell you why. No, Jared Jack was. You know why Jared Jack was creator? Because back in his Golden State days, he was disruptive in the paint. He used to get into the paint a lot. I ain't gonna hold you. He had that mid-range knockdown. The knees really get into him, and the guards are really killing him on the pick.
But he's always been the kind of like a set him up type of point guard. You know, he's never been that lightning quick guy. That's gonna really, really attack. You know what I'm saying? And right now, and like you're saying, with his knees getting to him, it's even worse now. You know what I'm saying? Now, I mean, he's a vet, so he's able to do some things because he's a vet and he's smarter than a lot of people out there. But physically,
Caliquin,
it's a little tough.
We're gonna have to trade him because he can't get off the floor. He's good in spurts, but boy, he cannot get off the floor. And that burns us so bad. He cannot lift. And then,
I agree with you.
He does too?
And neither does Cantor, though. Cantor doesn't doesn't have any lift either.
Cantor knows how to position himself.
Exactly. He knows how to position himself and use his body.
If Caliquin don't position himself at that point, he can't lift. He cannot lift. He cannot lift.
You're right. You're definitely right about that.
He cannot, and we don't have the guard play. We just don't have the guard play for somebody like that for a 7'3" footer. Because if LeBron don't have shooters, it will be bad for him. You have this whole thing with people and less talent. We looking at LeBron. LeBron has superior talent. What people don't understand, Kevin Love ain't no scrub. Kevin Love is a 20-10 guy anywhere else. Kyrie Irving was no scrub. He has significant help. Nothing compared to what Melo even blessed to have.
You're right about that.
But we always glorify LeBron James and his talent because he has talent. He has other players behind him.
Well, that's the reason that LeBron always goes and finds other players because he knows, he gets other players around him. He's gonna improve. He's gonna play better. His team's gonna play better, and everyone else is gonna play better.
You see, that's what Kevin Durant did because number one, why Kevin Durant left because there was no movement of the ball. There was no movement of the ball. It's not that he didn't want to say there was no movement at all. And then when you have a point guard that's zero in, Russell Westbrook has to learn how to slow. Because if he slows down his game, he will be more terrorizing.
He would. I agree.
He's just a tunnel vision, and it hurts other players' game because Kevin Durant don't have to hold the ball like that. KP, that's what made KP so special. Look at that and one dunk that they ran for him.
Yeah.
Because he can run off these screens.
Right.
But you have to have players that's going to hit hard. You have to hit hard. That's another thing. We have big men that's big, but they don't hit hard.
Right.
To create that space.
Definitely. Hey,
he has to have a bruiser behind him, and he has to have a point guard and a decent wing shooters. That's all he needs because the attention that he gets, It's nothing that Markkanen is seeing. This comparison with Markkanen, no. Because
Hey,
Markkanen
Mark.
can.
Hey, Mark. It's been a minute. All right. Hey, I agree with a lot that you say. You always got a spot on the show, but I'm gonna move on to another caller. All right.
All right, man. Yo, chat. Yo, shout out to the chat, man.
All right, man. All right. Peace out, Mark. All right, my people. My man Mark. Always got a spot on the show. He took up about 15 minutes though. You know what I'm saying? But I agree with a lot what what Mark was saying. I agree with him. I agree with a lot that he was saying. You know what I'm saying? You got another caller, you can feel free to call in. You know what I'm saying? Got to keep a time limit. I'm going to keep a time limit though. You know what I'm saying? Because he was on there for a minute. My man Mark. He was getting it in though. He's passionate. Got a lot to say. You know what I'm saying? You can Skype in, Anthony. You can Skype in. I'm gonna put the Skype in information in again. All right, you can there or there you go. All right. So just search me up on Skype there. And for those who don't really use Skype that much, you know what, Mark? I didn't really have a time limit, but I think you introduced something new, bro. I might start getting a time limit. But it's all love, Mark. It's all love, man. All right. Who is BV? Can you hear me? BV? All right. I'm not hearing you, bro. I'm not hearing you. You might have to try calling back in. Not hearing you. Yeah, but Mark, you got a chance to vent a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I think what I'm gonna start doing, find a way to put a little clock down in the corner, so that way, we got a little time limit. Yeah. And then if you go over the time limit, I'm gonna just cut it off. But don't worry about it, Mark. You was cool. People love you anyway. Let's talk about next move. What's the Knicks' next move? You know what I'm saying? What do we do next? Just talking about at this point in the season, we knew January was going to be a rough month for us. But where are we going from here? I was reading and looking at just a couple of articles where people were talking about saying that the Knicks need to maybe not tank the season, but trade away some vets and start playing these young guys that are almost on the same level. Some people say that we need to just go ahead and just get rid of all vets and just start basically tank. I never believe in tanking. I think you try to win always. You know what I'm saying? But do you guys think, what do you guys think the next move is? Where do we go? Do we wait until after the All-Star game to see exactly where we are? Although the All-Star game is after the trade deadline, so we wouldn't really be waiting until after the All-Star game. What's the philosophy? What's the strategy moving on from here? What do you guys think? I would like to continue pushing for the playoffs. I just think pushing for the playoffs, it provides a lot more than losing. You know what I mean? It provides much more experience, gives the guys something to work for. Helps the guys develop that winning habits. I want to know what you guys think about it though. And where you think we go from here. Trade for picks. You said we trade for picks. I'm all for trading for picks. I am in agreement. I love Kyle Quinn. I really like Kyle Quinn. James, you say get back to 500 first step. Okay. I really like Kyle Quinn. I would, but because of the situation, even though I know that Kyle Quinn is valuable, because of the situation, I would be looking to trade Kyle Quinn like they are. You know what I'm saying? I would look to trade Kyle Quinn to bring back a second round draft pick or something like that. I think you can trade Kyle Quinn and still get back to 500. You know, I think that, you know, it'll open up room for, you know, someone like Joakim Noah or Billy to play, and I think that they'll be able to come in and provide production that'll keep us with a chance to make the playoffs. You know, but I think Mills and Perry got to be mulling over where to go right now, and what to do. What's the next move? What's the next step? If we can get back to 500, that would be, I'm sure that would help their decision, you know, on where we go and what we do. You know, you're looking at, we play, let's go to my games. We play Minnesota, you know, and I mean, we're already struggling on the road. So that's going to be, I mean, you're looking at possibly us by the end of this week being, well, we're 19-22, being 19-23, 4 games below 500. The most we've been under 500 for the year. Right, and you know, definitely being in the worst stretch, the worst position of the season. Very Viru G, you say play Dotson more and give Lee some rest. You know, I definitely would like to see Dotson play. Dotson had some chances though. We can't say that he hasn't had his chances. He's definitely had some chances to get out there and perform. He's kind of cracked in each one of those chances. You know, every time he's had a chance, he hasn't really gotten out there and done anything. Mike Hawks, you say fire Hornacek and hire Mark Jackson. You know, I mean, I would love to see Mark Jackson coaching this team. I really would. I'm not gonna lie about it. I think that he provides the kind of the mentality that we need for this team. You know, but you know, Hornacek has helped the team to make it to a point that we didn't expect so far this season. You know, and so realistically, I don't think that's. I mean, that's, you know, that's what you're saying to do. But I'm not sure realistically that's the a realistic next move. I think that they keep Hornacek to the end of the season and then reevaluate from the end of the season. You say Dotson didn't have a real chance. You know, he got some minutes. He got a chance to start. I think he got a chance to start when Tim Hardaway went out. I think that they should have gave him another night to start. He didn't play well, and he pulled him right out of the lineup. I think that he should have kept him. I think he should have kept working with Dotson, you know, because it was his, you know, it's his first NBA start as a rookie. Who wouldn't, you know, have some struggles? You know what I'm saying? I think that they should have let him go ahead and start again and see what else he could do. Let him get a little bit more comfortable, you know. Let him get a little bit more comfortable. But we also, okay, so we have Minnesota, then the Pelicans coming back here, and then Brooklyn. So, you know, we have the ability to win 2 of the next 3. And then after Brooklyn, we go to Memphis. We can beat Memphis. You know, then we got the Jazz. We can beat the Jazz. So we have a chance, but you just don't know with this team. We have a chance to pull back. You just don't know. You know, Mark Jackson, Mike Hawks, you said Mark Jackson and the French Prince got the same exact game. Yeah, I believe it. I agree with it. I think that Mark Jackson can teach Frank a lot, a whole lot. You know, I think that Frank could really, really develop under Mark Jackson. Sincere, I talked about that before in one of the other shows, that we need to upgrade, because when you look at Hornacek, man, sometimes the adjustments just aren't there, right? And you need you need your coaching staff to make those adjustments for you, because in the game you can't make those adjustments. You just can't see it as a coach. It's hard to see all the adjustments by yourself. You know what I mean? You need to have your coaching staff looking at certain aspects of the game and helping you to make adjustments. And I'm not sure we're getting that from the coaching staff. You know, I asked before, why is Kurt Rambis still here? He's a triangle coach. He doesn't coach that up-tempo style of basketball, yet still he's the associate head coach. Why? We need to put guys out there that believe in the philosophy and do the things that Jeff Hornacek wants done, if that's who we're rocking with. If we're rocking with Jeff Hornacek, then, you know, he needs to bring in guys that know his style. You know what I mean? And coach with his style. Kurt Rambis ain't that dude, so why is he still here? You know, he doesn't coach defense. Why is he still here? He needs to go. Exactly. Get him out. Fire him. Get him out of here. He needs to go. No, I see no purpose for Kurt Rambis. None at all. And I would, unless he has good connections, you know what I'm saying, I would venture to say that once Kurt Rambis is gone from the Knicks, you know what I'm saying, he might not find another job, you know what I'm saying, or it might be a while. I don't think anybody's really that interested in Kurt Rambis. You say Kurt probably works with the big men. Maybe. I mean, if he works with the big men, you don't make him your associate head coach. You know what I'm saying? He was the associate head coach before. Well, I guess when Hornacek got there, that's what Phil Jackson named him, the associate head coach. But you get an assistant coach, a big man coach, to work with your big man, not your associate head coach. You know, he's supposed to be the main guy helping Jeff Hornacek make adjustments, and I don't see those adjustments really being made. I see them trying to do some things, like they said they're going to try to, play a little bit more bully ball and do some things like that. But in-game adjustments from halftime, from second to third quarter, I don't see those things. You know, I don't see those things. So Justin Remedy, I think that Noah should play, and I think he will. I think Kyle O'Quinn probably will get traded. Something's going to happen with Kyle O'Quinn. And then at that point, it's going to be Noah or Billy. You know what I'm saying? And they'll have a chance to see who's going to play and who's going to get those minutes. You know, I thought that maybe Jeff Hornacek talked about playing a little bit more bully ball. I thought that maybe we would have seen Billy tonight, but we didn't see him. Well, I didn't even see the first half. So, but let me see. Let me look at the numbers. I don't think he played. No, he played no minutes. So, but we expected that. We knew that. We expected that. So, where do we go? What do we do? From what I'm hearing, some of you guys want to fire the coach right now. I don't think it happens mid-season. But in speaking of philosophy, I'm just, do we just continue the course and see if we can move into that stay in the playoff hunt, or do we just try to stay in the playoff hunt with young guys, but still they need to play Billy? I'm guessing that and thinking that they're going to give it to the end of this month before they really make a decision on where exactly they're going to go. You know what I mean? By the end of this month, I think the Knicks will have a good chance, a good idea of exactly what's happening and what's going on, and we'll be able to make some moves from there, and really make a decision on which direction we want to move in for the rest of this season. And then that's going to, of course, dictate what do we do at the trade deadline. Right? Where are we going at the trade deadline? The trade deadline is coming up. There's a lot of people out there that folks are saying could be up for trade. I heard some stuff about Anthony Davis, Kemba Walker. What do you guys think? Do we just make small trades coming up to this trade deadline? Of course, we know about Kyle Quinn, the possibilities. We know about the possibilities of Billy Hernan Gomez. Do we make small trades and prepare for the summer, or do you guys look to do something big? What do y'all think? You know what I'm saying? Well, you say you take Kemba. What would you trade for Kemba? Yeah, I'm gonna get that out of here. I'm gonna block that spam junk. She's still doing it. See, you know what? Get out of there. But small trades that fit our timeline. Now, I see people say Kemba, right? Mark, you're right. Kemba would be able to run that pick and roll. But is Kemba in our timeline? Does that rush our timeline? If we were to go trade for Kemba, what do we give up? How much do we have to give up for Kemba? Although Kemba Walker doesn't make that much money. Well, relatively speaking, he doesn't make that much money. What would we trade to get Kemba? What would we have to give up? What do you think Charlotte would want? I can guarantee you they'd want Frank. See, Mark, you say everybody besides KP and Frank. I can guarantee you they'd want Frank. There's no way that I see them trading Kemba Walker to us and them not want to include Frank. Let me see. Let's take a look at what Kemba Walker makes. Let's just take a look real quick. I think Kemba Walker is in the range of like, it's not a heavy salary right now, like $12 million a year or something or less. Yeah, $12 million a year. Kemba Walker's making $12 million a year. Right. So that means we've got to match $12 million of salary as well as provide, they're going to want some value in return. Kemba's 24 years old. Charlotte, you say Charlotte wants Frank. I'm sure I know they'd want Frank. So, we'd have to match $12 million and also give them some kind of value. So you're talking about, obviously, Frank. You know what I mean? And Frank's salary, Frank is not making a bad salary to be a 19-year-old rookie. Frank's making $3 million this year. So to make up $12 million, you figure now you gotta find a way to get in $8.5 million more. Now the Knicks can take back a little bit less. Kemba has 2 years left on his. I think Kemba has this year and next year. And that's probably one of the reasons why, the rumor is out there that he could possibly be up for trade. You know what I'm saying? Because, all the time, every year it seems like Charlotte's going to have a better squad. But, you had maybe 1 year that, they surprised some people and did well. But after that, they just, I don't know, they can't seem to do it. So Kemba has this year and next year left on his contract, and he'll be an unrestricted free agent in 2019. Clever Wise. Oh, he's still talking about Tyreek. I'm just not sure. I mean, is Tyreek Evans even up for trade? Is Memphis even trying to get rid of Tyreek Evans? I don't know. Shamik, you say Frank, Noah, first, Kemba, and Marvin Williams. Marvin Williams makes what? Marvin Williams makes 13. Kemba makes 12. That's 25. The salaries would match up. And then you say we're throwing in a first round draft pick. I don't know if, I mean, I don't, maybe. I mean, I don't want to give up Frank. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep Frank. Shamik, okay, we were just talking with you. Shamik is calling in. We're going to get Shamik on the line. Since and Shamik, I had just mentioned you in the chat. All right, man. All right, I'm about to patch you in live to everybody. All right. We got Shamik on the line.
Yeah,
what's going on, Shamik? What's going on with you, man?
Chilling, man. How are you? Chat was good.
I'm good. Chat's good. Think they seem good. So so what you thinking about trade deadline? You know, what's your thoughts, man? And what's your thoughts about Kemba Walker? What's your thoughts about making any kind of moves at the deadline?
If I was trading for Kemba, I would do it if they were willing. If I had to give up Frank, I would do it if they could take on Noah's contract as well. So like Frank, Noah, you got to give him a first round pick. You got to throw something in there.
Right.
And then I would ask for Kemba and Marvin Williams. And I would do it specifically for Marvin Williams because the Knicks need an athletic wing to pair with Hardaway. Then you're talking about versatility. He can guard the 3 or the 4, maybe play small ball, KP to the 5. It just makes the most sense. That's like Charlotte's one of those teams. They're like, they're in limbo right now. And I think if Charlotte wanted to take on Noah's contract, I would definitely try to make that move for Kemba.
Now, Marvin Williams is on contract. He makes $13 million this year, $14 million next year, and then $15 million in 2020. Then he's an unrestricted free agent in 2020.
Yeah, that's about the same.
That's
as Noah.
And that's the same as Noah. Noah makes $17 million this year, then I think $18 million, then $19 million, then he's a free agent in 2020. And that stays with that 2020 timeline.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where, that 2020 offseason, the season where we actually have some cash.
Right.
Now, would you be looking at Kemba as your point guard for the future? If you did that, would he be the point guard of the future? Because if you're making that trade and Kemba's not actually the point guard of the future, now you gave up your point guard of the future and you're back in the same position. So you'd have to know that he's going to be your point guard for the future.
Well, the thing, I think they'll have a year to figure that out. I know Kemba's from New York. I know he went to UConn. He's very familiar with the area. So the Knicks would have that in their advantage. And similar to like the Boston Celtics situation with Kyrie, they figured they have a year with him, going after this season to convince him to stay. And I do think Kemba will stay because, the Knicks have a lot of money. They have money coming off their books right before 2020. I think, is Courtney Lee still up in 2019?
Courtney Lee is up in 2020 as well, I believe.
20. I do think the Knicks. I think Kemba would want to stay. He's been in Charlotte for 5 or 6 years. I know he wants to be in a bigger market.
Yeah, he's been in Charlotte his whole career.
Yeah, I know he feels like he's similar to Dame Lillard. He feels like he's not getting the respect he deserves over there, or recognized. Right. And I think Kemba would be willing to stay. I think that's a move the Knicks would, because
you think so?
Given his age, he fits perfect with 25, right? 26.
No, he's 27. 20.
27.
He'll turn. Wait a minute. This is 90. He'll be 28. Yeah, he'll be 28 in May.
28. So
yeah, he'll be 28 years old in May. So he's a little bit.
He's like kind of in his prime. Hardaway's kind of in his prime. KP's entering his prime.
Right.
I do think it kind of fits with what the Knicks are trying to do, and I don't know. I would if the Knicks this is only if Charlotte is going to take on Noah. If they wanted Frank for Kemba, I wouldn't do it. But if they wanted to get rid of Noah now, we could get Marvin Williams. I would do it.
Does does that bring us right back to what we've done in the past? You know, trading a young talent and a draft pick for someone who's a little bit older, and because then that kind of rushes. Now, I'm not denying that him and KP running a screener role would be crazy. Not even denying that. That would be crazy, right? So that would definitely be, that'd be off the charts. Him and KP running that screener role, and Kemba just got a lot of heart. You know what I mean? But are you falling right back into that same old philosophy that we've been doing for years? You know what I'm saying?
I can see that, but this is, I have a lot of faith in Scott Perry, and I think I do think I trust him. I think that he would know what he's doing with the point guard situation. I don't think it'd be the same, recycle point guard, trying to find a point guard every year. I don't think, and to be honest, I really do think if Kemba got here, he would stay here. I do think he'll sign with the Knicks, and I love Frank. I really love Frank. I wanted Frank in the draft, but if they were to take on that Noah deal, and it would just clear up so much for the Knicks. It would clear up the center situation.
That it would.
And I would, and then you get the reason Knicks lost to Chicago. They struggle with Chicago. They might struggle with Minnesota when they play. They don't have athletic wings, and Marvin Williams is an athletic wing. He's versatile. Right. I just think that fixes so much of the Knicks needs now, and going down the line the next couple of years too. If they want to get to Noah.
Now, I tell you something that I would do. Maybe I would hate to give up a draft pick, but I don't know if I would. I'd have to think about it. But let me ask you or anyone else on the chat: if the Hornets were willing to take Courtney Lee, who I like Courtney Lee, but Courtney Lee and a first for Kemba Walker, would you do it? Now,
yeah, I would. I would do it.
And your 2018 first round draft pick, Courtney Lee, and your 2018 first round draft pick, and maybe another young guy.
I would like Billy, like Courtney Lee, Billy in the first round pick.
Yeah, something like that.
I would do it because it still clears up the center position, that log at center. Mm-hmm. And then you have Kemba and Frank. Frank's a big guard. He can play. He can play off the ball. He can play off the ball. He can, and so can Kemba. Kemba can play off the ball. I think that combination, won't hurt at all. I think two ball handlers. We see Hornacek do it with two ball handlers. And just one thing I want to say about Hornacek, I see people kind of battle Hornacek. I got to give him some credit. I think he's way outperforming my expectations I have for this team. I'm not even gonna hold you, Sam. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
And he was at his best with his lineup when he had multiple point guards. Look at him in Phoenix. He had Dragic, Bledsoe, Isaiah off the bench. He knows how to handle or manage, 2 to 3 point guards on the roster. So I don't even think that would be a problem.
Right.
That's really what he wants.
Right. And check this out. Let me pull this up real fast. This is the Washington Post. The Washington Post put this out. It says, so what if Charlotte traded Walker to begin to ease his financial burdens as well as to jumpstart a rebuild? Say, for example, Walker was shipped to his hometown New York Knicks along with Williams. Well, this is basically the same thing that you were talking about. For rookie point guard Frank Ntilikina, Joakim Noah, New York's 2018 first-round draft pick. So this is, something that the Post kind of put out there. I'm not sure if it's anything that Charlotte is actually contemplating or looking to bite on. You know what I'm saying? But, that is something that's been out there.
I know. One thing I know about Jordan, he's been historically a little he doesn't like to spend money going into it. He did it a couple of years ago. He re-signed Batum. He gave Batum a lot of money. He gave Kaminsky some money, but I don't think if they're not winning, I don't see him, re-signing, Kemba. He's gonna want, max money. Right. So that's probably why Charlotte is looking to.
Yeah. He's gonna want max money, And then that's another issue. Hey, what's your name again?
Shamik.
Shamik. Yeah, Shamik. I'm gonna let somebody else jump on. All
Yeah,
right.
man.
I appreciate you calling. Make sure. Well, on Wednesday, and on Friday, I'm not sure if I had the lines open because I'll probably be doing it from my mobile phone. I'll be on the road, but I'll definitely be on Friday. Hey, I appreciate the call, bro.
All right, big fan, man. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. Now, that's another thing about Kemba Walker. If we were to trade for Kemba Walker, then we've got to look at the contract situation. So he's making $12 million this year. He makes $12 million, and it's a $12 million even. I'm sorry, it's a $12 million even. It's not like it's 12 and change. It's $12 million even for this year and for the following year, right? $12 million even. What kind of contract is Kemba Walker going to want? Right? So let's just say, for instance, we did it. We traded Frank and a first for Noah, and
Yo. You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me finish what I was saying. All right.
I got you.
All right. So let's just say that we went ahead and we traded Frank, Noah, first round draft pick for Kemba Walker, Marvin Williams. Right. Kemba Walker comes off the books, 2019. What kind of contract do you think Kemba Walker's going to want? All right, Kemba Walker's going to want some money. He's not going to, he'll probably want a max contract, to be honest with you. And then, are we hurting ourselves, right? Because we wouldn't be a team that's ready to contend. And then now we'd be paying Kemba Walker, 28-year-old point guard, which is not old, a max contract. And how much would that hamper us going forward, right? Kemba Walker this year so far is averaging 21.3 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 5.8 assists. Good numbers, right? Kind of stats that we like to have on our team, for sure, without a doubt. With those numbers, and, for his career, he's averaging 18.6 points, 3.8 rebounds, 5.4 assists. With those kind of numbers, Kemba's going to want a max contract or damn near a max contract. All right? So then what? So then what happens? All right? BV, I'm going to bring in. What's going on, bro?
Hey, man, what's good? Shout out to everybody in the chat. You already know. But I was going to say, this is like doing it all over again. You feel me? Like, we're going to give up a 19-year-old kid, which I got a lot of like, belief in him. You feel me? Like, Frank, I feel like he's going to be like a Jimmy Butler. Like, he's not going to have great stats rookie year, probably not even sophomore year. But that third, fourth year, he's going to come in and he's going to be great. I really believe that. But the thing is, man, like, I don't want to see them trade a 19-year-old for a 27-year-old going into 28-year-old. Like, it's like a more of a win now type of deal. It's not really a future thing for me. For me, it's not a future thing for me.
Exactly. You're right. It's not a thing for the future. That's a win now type of deal. And we don't have players that's ready to win now. I mean, I know people that say, well, you guys got Michael Beasley that's 27 years old and Courtney Lee is 32. Jared Jack is 35. You guys got an older team. But if you look, the only one of those guys that's on a serious type of contract is Courtney Lee, right? $11 million a year or whatever it is. Jared Jack is getting, I don't even know exactly what he's getting, probably the veterans minimum, but his contract just got guaranteed the other day, right? He was on a non-guaranteed contract into the 7th. Michael Beasley is making the veterans minimum. Raymond Sessions is probably going to be waived in the next few days. So, the team, you may have a couple of vets out there, but we're not really in win-now mode. But if you bring in someone like Kemba Walker, that pushes us into win-now mode because at the age that he is, Kemba Walker's looking to go to a team to win. He's been losing for most of his career. He's going to be looking to go to a team that can win. and we're not ready for that yet.
That's what I'm saying.
We're not ready for that.
I would think getting Kemba right now is gonna first round knockout, maybe second, but I don't see it being a championship thing. And then once he gets to 30 years old, he's gonna want another contract. We're gonna pay him big, and he's gonna be a 33, 34-year-old guy getting overpaid, and I don't want to see that again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
exactly, and that's where I'm at with it. I like Kemba Walker, and I really do.
I do
think
too.
that,
I'm from the Bronx. You feel me? It's BX. You know what I'm saying? I love Kemba, but not for that deal.
And I really do think that Kemba Walker could fit in perfectly with what we do, but the timeline and everything doesn't match up. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't match up, especially when you got a guy who is young like Frank, who one day could possibly, has the ability to be really good. You know what I'm saying? I think that
and he's 19. That's the thing too.
It's
like
right, and he's
if
19 years
Kimba
old.
was like 3 years younger, like I think it would be a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's like the age he's gonna get another contract with us if he wanted to stay would be like max deal at 30 maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know the contract, but then we're gonna have him the last 2 years. He's not gonna really be all that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just don't like it.
Right. Yeah. I don't really like it either. I mean, I like Kemba Walker, but I don't like that deal for us. I would rather go ahead and ride out with Frank, and see what happens with Frank. You know what I'm saying? See what Frank brings us.
For one time, I just want to see the Knicks stay young and just see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. See what happens and do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? See what happens, do it the right way, build the right way, and see where it goes from there. You know what I mean? Because that's what we did with Melo. We had some young guys. We packaged them together and traded to bring in Melo. Left the cupboard bare. You know what I'm saying? What we give away? 2 draft picks, 2 first-round draft picks. I mean, we gave
couple starters.
Couple starters. We gave away a crazy lot for Melo. And listen, I don't never blame Melo. I know people are always like, Melo could have waited and signed and blah 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 blah. But with everything that was going on, with the CBA and all that kind of stuff, Melo was like, let me go ahead and get this trade done, get to where I want to go, get my money, because if I don't get my contract now, who knows what the new CBA is going to be like. You know what I'm saying? It was on the Knicks to say, no, we're not going to sign you now. And the Knicks, no, we're not going to trade for you now. And the Knicks didn't do that. They went ahead, tried to get that star player. And I think that we need to, like my man Tyreek Singleton is saying right now, build the right way. You know what I'm saying? We need to do it the right way. I agree. It gets hard because someone flashes a player like Kemba Walker in front of you, and you're like, wow, we could do that. But I think we gotta stay the course. We stay the course and see where it takes us. I think that's the move. I think that's the right way to go.
Yeah, me too. All right, man. I'll holler at you.
All right, man. Thank you for the call, bro.
One.
Peace. Yeah, I think the move, guys, in my opinion, is to stay the course. I wanted to, see where you guys' head was at with Kemba. I know some people are for it. Some people say forget being patient. I seen it up here in the chat. Forget being patient. Let's go get it. But sometimes you got to be patient, right? What they say, good things come to those who wait. We haven't been patient for a long time. For a long time, the Knicks, we haven't tried to remain patient. We tried to go get the star or these stars. A lot of times, and most of the time in a situation with the teams that we had, you're going to get flawed stars. You know what I mean? You're going to get stars that have, for some reason, just can't make it. And I'm not trying to, people are going to say, yeah, Melo. I'm not even talking about Melo. I'm talking about like Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose was a beast. But, once his injuries, started racking up, he wasn't the same guy. So then what happened? We traded for him. We traded away a young point guard who's now playing significant minutes for the Bulls. We traded away a center that was doing well for us, a defensive anchor, and it all blew up in our face trying to chase that star. Ron, what's happening, bro?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, man? Chat is here. Everybody's here.
Yeah, I'm just another tough loss. And,
Yeah.
Listening. I love your channel. I'm glad you set this up for us, Knicks fans, Knicks Nation.
I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it.
So I've been hearing, a lot of the comments from the callers early tonight, and I'm just gonna give you my perspective from. I'm 48 right now, so I'm an older Knicks fan. So, and it kind of sucks to see someone like my younger, like my nephews. They don't know what it is to see a good Knicks team. This new generation, they've never seen a good Knicks team. They've just seen Knicks lose every year out of the playoffs.
Right.
So, but I think as Knicks fans, it's kind of this is what I see what's going on. You look at the older Knicks fans like myself and older than me Knicks fans that were around to see the championships in the 70s, the early 70s when Phil was there and Clyde. I think what it is that, like the last caller was saying, that we're so used to of the Knicks doing this every year, that turnover. Let's get this player, let's get that player, and try to just stick it together and hope he sticks. Kind of like what we've been seeing the last couple of years. But not like you said, I agree with you. KP is like, are we bringing? What's the plan? Are we want to build a core around KP, like a young core, and see the team grow in the next couple of years? Like you said, you can bring another player, but if he doesn't fit the timeline, we're back to the same square one. Like
exactly.
when we brought Melo here, And I think a lot of fans forget to. I don't know if you remember, but I remember when Melo was being traded from Denver to New York. There was at the last minute he was going to go to the Nets.
The Nets, right? Right.
Remember
right,
that?
Right.
That he was going to he was going to go to the Nets, and that time I think it was Donnie, the GM. Who was it? Donnie Walsh.
Donnie Walsh.
Right. He didn't want to. He felt we were giving up too much.
Right.
We had like a young team. He felt there was too much assets, and then what happened? The owner stepped in at the last minute, and we ended up with Melo. And look, nothing happened. So we got. And the thing is that with New York is, like you said, I think New York is the type of town. It's not like some of these small markets where you have to have that big name. People are gonna come, whether they're in last place. But the thing is, if you get that big player, can that play? I mean, we thought Melo would be okay. Can Melo be a recruiter? Obviously, I mean, you would think you can't even get LeBron here. So it's like, you have to ask yourself, it's like, and I wonder with that whole Phil Jackson, fiasco, if that hurt us, around the league. Like, are players scared to come to New York because either the owner or because, I mean, Phil Jackson was there, but even though that Phil Jackson's gone, look, we're still talking about Phil Jackson, and he's not even there.
Yeah. And I think with Phil Jackson, it hurt us to the extent that he was still here. If he was still here, it would really be hurting us. But I think that Scott Perry, he's putting a different idea in people's heads. I think we have people have a different perception of the Knicks now with Scott Perry here. I think that, and James Dolan stepped in. You were right. Donnie Walsh didn't really want to do the trade. He wanted Melo. Don't get that mixed up. He did want Melo, but he wanted to wait.
Right. He said we can get him as a free agent in the summer. And then he said, and then at the last minute, because I remember I was at a sports bar and I got a phone call and I was watching, I think ESPN, they were saying, oh, he may be going to the Nets. And at the last minute, I'm like, how the hell he ended up in the Knicks? And they said the owner at the last minute, he stepped in. And I think that was when Donnie Walsh said, you know what? I'm out of here. The owner kind of like, but I think exactly. And then when Phil Jackson came in, according to what he said was, well, the New York media says that I'm always meddling in, stepping in. So he said, I guess that was like the deal between him and Phil. Like, let me run the show. You you get in the background. Let me run the show. So, I mean, I agree Phil Jackson is a good evaluator of talent. But the thing is, can he build the team? And I don't know. I thought for a reason when he came in, I was like, is that more the damage control? Because there was protesting going on outside the Garden and this whole thing. So I'm wondering, like, Was he brought for the right reasons? Was it because he couldn't turn down that big contract? I mean, they were paying him more money than almost any
I
GM in the
mean,
league.
you know, there's always going to be a lot of stuff. You know, none of us really know the inside information.
Right, right,
You know what I'm saying? So
right,
there's always going to be a lot of stuff about, you know,
right,
Phil Jackson was sleeping and all that kind of stuff. We don't know
right,
what the truth is for real or what the
right.
circumstances around it was. I believe that Phil
Exactly.
Jackson had the right ideas. I don't think he knew how to implement them. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
I mean, you know, if you look at our team now, you know, more than half of our team are was brought here by Phil. You know, you got KP,
right,
you got Frank, Courtney Lee, Kylo
right,
Quinn, Billy Hernan
right.
Gomez, Joe Kim Noah. Although Joe Kim Noah is not really playing for us right now. You know, Phil Jackson brought in some talent to the team. He made some mistakes, but everyone's gonna make some mistakes. I don't care who
Right,
you
right,
are. Everyone's gonna
right,
make some
right,
mistakes. Phil
right,
Jackson did bring some talent into the team. You know what I'm
right,
saying? He set us up for, you know, you got KP, you got Frank. If we keep Billy, you got Billy, Damian Dotson,
right,
Courtney Lee. You know, Courtney Lee's
right,
been good for us this year, and
right,
if he's still around when we become good, you know, he'll be one of those veteran guys. Um,
right,
you know, he you know he brought in some players for us, and I think where Phil kind of messed up, you
right.
know, is
Those
when,
contracts, right? Those big
well, you
contracts,
know,
maybe.
the Joe Kim Noah contract is not a good contract. You know,
And the
we know,
trade for Rose. I
we
mean, that
know
was
that
another.
now. That right
Yeah,
there, exactly, that trade for
yeah,
Rose, that right there was a big. I think that was a
yeah.
big. Yeah, I thought he was on the right track, right?
Right,
You know, we had some guys that were willing to play defense. We had we had a good mix of guys like you know, you had Jerry Grant, who we don't know if he's going to be a starting point guard in the league or a starting point guard for long or anything like that.
mm-hmm.
You know, but he was
Right,
a decent guard. You had Lopez. You had what's it called it that they signed in the shooting guard spot. He didn't really work out for us, but
right.
you know, Courtney Lee would have stepped in. I can't think of his name now. What's his name? You know, but you know, we had something that was starting to build, and then he threw it away for Rose, and I think that was a
And
mistake. You
and
know,
and, and we talk about Rose, not to control Rose, but what kind of was getting me frustrated because around the league, when they were talking to former players like Shaquille O'Neal, Horace Grant, I've seen these interviews. Let's ask former players like, do you believe the system will work in today's NBA game? And all the former players believe like if you let Phil get the players that he wants, he could. But then you keep hearing in the media that the younger players don't like the system, that they don't like the triangle, or it's too complicated. So I don't know if it was a generational thing because some people say, well, you can't force a system on a player. You have to either, if you don't have the personnel, you got to be able to be flexible, like other coaches where they adapt, you know, to the team that they have, to the personnel, and you know. So I don't know if that was a situation where there was a conflict of philosophy in the
I,
front office with Phil.
I
You
think
know, I
that
mean, yeah, even Hornacek. I mean, I was
yeah,
surprised when he hired Hornacek. I was like, you went from Derek Fisher to Hornacek, and
right.
I'm like, and Derek Fisher didn't even last. So I'm like, and he didn't have no coaching background, so that was just like a whole big circus there. I'm like, what the heck is going on here?
Right.
Is there a plan or not? And you
And
know, another thing is, like with the Knicks fans, I'm hearing the callers, I'm seeing the comments. If you look at Golden State, if you look at OKC, those teams were not built overnight. They were built through the draft. It took about what 3 to 5 years.
right,
I mean, even when
right,
Phil Jackson was fired, they were a good team. But when Steve Kerr there, most of those guys were already there. He just took over a good team. And so the question is like when I can see what people say. Well, we want Mark Jackson, yeah, because he was there when they were building the team together. But the thing is New York that type of town where we can say, okay, this is going to be a 5-year plan, you
right,
know,
right.
and
And
it would go from yeah,
yeah, and I think that you know, I mean, I think you're right. You know, those type of teams they built. You know, they built through development, they built through coaching, they built through the draft, through free agency,
mm-hmm,
and but I think
mm-hmm.
with the triangle, and I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna get on to another caller.
All
Um,
right,
but I think with the triangle, um, you can't just throw somebody. Not everybody can teach it. You know what I'm saying? You got to know the
Mm-hmm.
nuances the way of Phil Jackson knew it. And I
Right.
think it's more of a philosophy, but Phil Jackson at the same time needed to be a little more. He needed to adjust. You know what I'm saying? He needed to be able to adjust to today's game. Just like anything that you get, you're not gonna go to the store right now and buy a television with a big tube in the back, right?
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
You're gonna adjust. You're gonna buy a flat screen TV that's nice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That can keep up with the modern technology and things like that, because that old one can't keep up with it. It's the same thing, the same
Yeah,
concepts.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
upgraded, and I think you have to do you needed to do the same thing. But I'm gonna get on to another caller. All
Okay,
right.
brother.
I appreciate you, Ron. And
Not a problem.
all right, bro.
All right. Well, it's just like I said, we'll just hang in there and see what comes out of this year. Hopefully,
Yes, sir.
I think when Tim comes back and if this guy comes up, Trey Burke, maybe after the draft we'll have a better idea of what we have if we make the playoffs. I mean, I would love to make the playoffs, but realistically speaking, I mean, thinking about it, it's like, do you really want to be an AC and play the Cavs or Boston in the
Yeah.
first
Well,
round? I
I
don't
mean,
know.
but making the playoffs. Hey, I'm gonna answer your question, but I'm gonna close
Yeah.
off the thing. All right.
All right.
I think. All right. Thanks, Ron. I think that making the playoffs is it's important for a team's development. Even if you do get ousted in the first round, you get blown out. It's something that it's something for your development, and it's a feather in your cap to start building, to what's next. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna get on to New York versus Minnesota. All right, and we'll talk about this for a few minutes. This game, I mean, we really needed to beat Chicago because we're playing a tough team in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Minnesota is if you look right now at the standings with Minnesota, it's going to be, of course, our first time seeing Minnesota this year. Minnesota is they're 27-16, fourth in the West. Let me get this over here for you guys. Fourth in the West. They got a lot of talent there, of course, and they've won 3 in a row, 7-3 in their last 10. That's why the Chicago win was so important. We needed to win this game. Because we're going into a tough team in Minnesota. I know a couple of games after that, maybe not as tough, but this is a tough team in Minnesota. So, what do we got to do? What do we got to do against Minnesota? Next caller that calls in, I want you to talk about this Minnesota game a little bit. What do you guys see that we need to do against Minnesota? We need to win this game. If we really have our sights on making the playoffs, if we have our sights on making the playoffs, this is a game we got to get it. We need it, and guys got to come out like they want it. If not, then we're gonna see ourselves 4 games below 500, the most that we've been this season. And I'm not saying that that's going to that throws us out of the playoff talk right now, but it drops us below, and it'll be our lowest point of the season. You say not get destroyed. I mean, they got players. They definitely got players. I don't know. Did they play tonight? Let's check it out. They beat OKC 104-88 tonight. Let's look at the box score a little bit. Minnesota. So there you go. Andrew Wiggins, Taj Gibson, Karl Anthony Towns, Jimmy Butler, and Jeff Teague. They have a nice squad over there. They got some talent that you got to keep up with. They got guys that can come off the bench and score. Jamal Crawford, veteran, can come in and light it up. Of course, we know about, we know what Jimmy Butler, Karl Anthony Towns, and Wiggins can do. We're gonna have to team can play. They can play defense. I'm not sure exactly where they are defensively, but I know they're decent defensively. With Tibbs there, he's not gonna have anything less than a team that can work hard and play defense. And if we don't come ready, man, we could be in trouble against these guys. And right now, Minnesota, I don't want to say that they're slept on, but of course they're not the talk of the town. They're never the talk of the town. No one's, harping on, oh, Minnesota this, Minnesota that. But, they're creeping up on teams in the West. They've had some really good wins this year, and they've got a lot of new players that they're working in. When you talk about Jimmy Butler, Jeff Teague, Taj Gibson, guys that are getting minutes. I don't know if Taj Gibson is. I don't know. I don't remember. I think he got traded there last year, but Jamal Crawford, and they're working guys in, and they're finding a way to make it work. And we can be in trouble if we don't come ready to hoop. We don't come ready to play. No, we didn't play Minnesota. This is our first game against Minnesota. First game. Yeah, first game against Minnesota. And let me just look at the standings again and exactly where they are. And even in the beginning of the season, I'm not going to say they floundered, but it took a little time for them to really, get it going. And even given that, they're 1.5 games behind San Antonio. What's that? 3.5 games behind Houston. They're right there in the mix of things. You know what I'm saying? And right there, on the verge of being in that top 4 in the West. So, Karl Towns is going to have his way with KP. He might. Let's see. Karl Towns is... Okay, whoever called in, hung up real fast. Call back. Whoever that was, call back. Let's talk about this Minnesota-New York game. Let's see. Karl Anthony Towns is playing center. Taj Gibson is playing power forward. I'm wondering what kind of matchups Jeff Hornacek is going to put on the floor. He should have KP guarding Towns because how versatile Towns is, and he should have Cantor guarding Taj Gibson. That should be the matchup. You never know with Hornacek. Hornacek does some things. You know what I'm saying? All right, BN. Peace, bro. Yeah, we're gonna be logging off in a little bit anyway. But glad you logged on, and I'll definitely be here on Wednesday. I'm sorry, Friday night. But yeah. Jeff Teague, what's his name? Jarrett Jack should be able to. I don't know. He's not gonna stay in front of him. We might need some help. We're gonna need some help on Jeff Teague. Usually with Jarrett Jack, we need some help. Karl Anthony Towns, KP should guard him, but we hopefully Karl Anthony Towns, doesn't really get at him, and then Andrew Wiggins. They'll probably put Thomas on Andrew Wiggins. We'll see where that goes from there. And then Courtney Lee's gonna be checking Jimmy Butler. We're gonna need the bench to step up. You said, are the Knicks just overachieving, or did they just overachieve? That's the question. Did the Knicks just overachieve earlier in the season, and now this is the team that they are? That's the question right there. And I think we're still finding that out. We'll find out more when Tim Hardaway comes back. If the Knicks just overachieved earlier, and now they're coming down to this is the team that they really are, or whatever, or we'll see whatever it is. But guys, I'm gonna head out. All right, we've been on for like 2 hours. And you say you feel confident before any game. I feel confident. I always feel confident. I feel like the team can. I feel like this team can win. But because of because they're young, because they're new, because of certain things, you never know exactly what's going to happen with these guys. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel confident with this team. I feel confident that these guys can come out and compete. They've just got to do it. But lately, my confidence has waned. I'm not gonna lie to you, Vincent. It's waned a little bit because of things that I see them doing, things that are happening. It concerns me. The inability to close games. The sometimes the lazy play on the floor that I'm seeing, and even from KP. That's another reason why I question about him being that guy. Even from KP. But it's our Knicks. We know what to expect from our Knicks. We always do. All right. Phillips, I appreciate that. And I seen a couple other people. Marvin, good show. We're gonna keep trying to keep the shows getting better and better and better. That's our goal. I do have some other things planned that I really won't be able to do until after I come back. I'm going to visit some family, going away to visit some family, but then I got some things that I'm gonna implement. I want to get you guys even more involved. I want to get you guys to do some voting so we can vote on like player of the game, and I'll put out a poll like during the game, and I'll get you guys a link and some things like that. We'll talk about it a little bit more. Player of the game, like the hard worker of the game, some things like that. But we'll do some of those things when I come back from my little vacay, because I'll be doing it mobile. I'll be doing it from my mobile phone the next few shows, so it won't be as I won't have all the background stuff. But I'll be on Friday after the game from some location. I'm not exactly sure where that location is going to be because I'll be in the midst of traveling. I'll be on after the game and wherever that location is. And hey, we're going to stick with it. We're going to stick with the Knicks. And we're going to ride it out. However it goes, we're going to ride it out together. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, I'm out. And I will talk to you on Friday. All right? And stay cool. Listen, if you like this show, if you like the live stream, please join us after every Knicks game. You can subscribe. Hit the subscribe button below. Ring the bell. You get a notification anytime I'm live. Check out these videos over here. And I think I got it to the right side this time. All right? Peace, y'all. Peace.